Okay, this is why parasocialism is worse for VTubers. I've actually noticed this when observing the chats of VTubers compared to the chats of IRL streamers. VTuber chats are a lot weirder. Like VTuber viewers tend to be weirder in a way compared to like your regular old streamer viewers. And I think it's because of the avatar. Because some people do not correlate the avatar to a real person. So they feel like they could act out of the norm. A bit weirder, you know. I think that might be the cause. That's why they're super parasocial. Like they're they're not in love with the person streaming. They're in love with the avatar being used. This is what I believe. But we'll see. I mean, um, it it's given even regular streamers, IRL streamers, they also have parasocial viewers. But it's just when it comes to VTubers, I feel like the viewers are different when it comes to being parasocial. Like they're built different parasocially.
It's a one-sided relationship where a person knows so much about a particular content creator, influencer, fictional character, and in this case VTuber, and forms a certain kind of attachment towards them, while those figures knows nothing about that person.
Yep.
Those kinds of attachment depends on the viewer and content creator.
I'm not sure if the accent is Filipino or Indonesian, but he sounds very familiar in a way because like the accent sounds very familiar.
Be it familial, friendly, or romantic in nature. It is subtle, insidious, creeping up on people and developing without them not even knowing. One day they could enjoy a particular streamer, influencer, or VTuber, and the next they'll find their heart suddenly broken upon hearing those.
What does that say? She lied to her fans that she is single and is only dedicated to her fans. Sorry, but I will not white knight liars. What the fuck? Please take a shower immediately. Literally no argument. You probably don't even know what Gachikoi is and what kind of fan base Russia was cultivating. Please take a shower immediately. Bro. I think it's the idol culture, isn't it? Because you have to be like perfect. You have to be single forever. You can't be in a relationship ever because your relationship is with your fans. I think it's because they feed into the parasocialism. I feel like that's the reason why fans are so extremely loyal to idols because their idols feed into the parasocialism. And thus the drawback of that is they're so parasocial that anything you do will be watched and anything you do that they don't like will have a violent reaction. It's crazy because that shouldn't happen, but right now it is what it is. I broke my defense. I really broke my defense. Huh? Japanese idol otaku lunatics are selling their Russia merch because she interacted with a male VTuber. Bro, come on. That's... Huh? They canceled membership because she interacted with a male VTuber. Why? They don't even know you, little bro. She don't even know you, little bro. What the fuck?
Influencers might be in a relationship. While in most instances people just unsubscribe or unfollow, or even the usual petty whining in some random image board or Twitter thread, some instances can be so deranged and horrific, like committing suicide.
The fact that I keep pausing, the fact that you're unsubscribing or unfollowing just because they interacted with a person of the opposite sex means you need therapy immediately. You need to relax, you need to stop watching. You need to go outside, fucking take a walk, bro. You're in too deep.
After their favorite characters die, or stalking, harassing, and scaring.
Also, committing suicide after the characters they like die. Some people have trouble differentiating fantasy from reality, and I think that is very concerning.
their favorite content creators their entire life. In recent years, parasocialism has been vilified by literally everyone. Some critiques and problems exaggerated, but often they parrot the same opinion. Parasocialism, bad. And in one
Yeah.
way, I agree. The deepest ends of parasocialism
What do you mean
are
in
cause
one
for
way?
one of the internet's most
There is no other way. It's just bad. It's and it's mostly bad for the viewer because you get attached, too attached actually. I feel like treating a stream or a streamer as an entertainment, a source of entertainment, that's where it should end. If you go around, if you watch a stream hoping that you will become friends with this streamer, you will become romantically engaged with this streamer, then you need to find another hobby. Stop watching. Bro, get out of your house.
fucked up stories, but I don't think parasocialism is necessarily bad. See,
Mm,
parasocialism is more nuanced than that. While everyone simplifies it to just a person developing some kind of obsessive or unrequited
yeah,
attachment towards someone or something, there are actually layers
it
and depths
is.
to consider. A
Okay.
weep seeing the boys on Trash Taste and listening to their podcast every day because they're just like me for real. A
Mm-hmm.
man inspired after his favorite influencer that once suffered the same problem that he had overcome it. A man deciding to learn a language just because their favorite VTubers knows how to speak it. Parasocialism isn't the Venta Black concept that many people paint
I don't think that's parasocialism though. Like being inspired by something doesn't make you parasocial. I think it's because you're just inspired by something. If I read a book and it inspires me to be a better version of myself, let's say, then I'm not parasocial towards the book or its author. It's just inspired me. So I think what he's mentioning right now is not parasocialism. I think it's just being a normal person.
it as. It can be healthy. In fact, I would argue most cases of parasocialism is actually healthy. We all have parasocial relationships in some shape or form. By its technical definition,
It's a one-sided relationship where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Yeah, but yeah,
being a fan of someone is a parasocial relationship. And
is it?
most of the time, that actually helps us grow. Like learning a language, mastering an instrument, becoming a good dancer, or even just a
Well, I
temporary
guess
escape from the harsh world so that we can come back refreshed and ready to face it again.
I guess that does make sense. It is. I guess being a fan does make you parasocial. It's like a tier, I guess, of parasocialism. Yeah, because the person you're watching is not aware that you exist. I don't know. It's a lot of gray areas, but I think parasocialism is just don't do it, bro.
Sometimes we just need our role model and Oshis to give us encouraging words. Sometimes we just need a temporary escape. But when people start depending on them and reach the deep end,
Yeah.
that's when the parasocialism problem actually becomes a problem.
The thing is, they reach the deep end because of that gate of I need my idol, I need my Oshi, I need my streamer to give me encouraging words. That's where it starts, and then soon you're gonna need it. You're the viewer. You're like, I need some encouragement, and you're gonna go to that stranger on the screen to tell you some words, and eventually you're gonna be so dependent on them because you're parasocial like that. It's no. If you need encouraging words, ask friends, ask your family, ask people who actually know you, because the streamer, the entertainer on your screen, they don't know you, little bro. They literally don't know you. They don't know what's up with you, and they shouldn't. As a streamer myself, I believe we shouldn't be giving you giving viewers these kinds of words and or services of making you feel like better about yourselves, because streamers are here to entertain. Streamers are streamers, streamers are entertainers. They are not therapists. They are not your family, they are not your friends. It's not. So don't, bro, stop that shit.
When requests for words of encouragement become pushy for words of validation, when instead of being inspired by your favorite content creators to fix your issues, one ignores it and retreats to them for comfort, when one escapes reality and leaves for good. Many people have talked about the dangers of parasocialism, especially that of a romantic nature. I'm not going to be one of them, though I did offer my opinion, and that's going to be crucial for my overall message in this video. No, I'm here to answer another question that nobody seems to have answered yet. Is the parasocialism problem for VTubers worse? But how do you even measure that? What is a
It seems
base
like it.
form of parasocialism?
Because
By worse,
the
I don't actually
idol
mean the level of
thing.
intensity, because parasocial fans going absolutely batshit crazy over their favorite influencers is not exclusive to VTubers. In fact, I
Yeah.
actually think in terms of degree, the VTuber industry isn't that problematic. At least, compared to K-pop and Dream stans, they're way fucking worse. By worse, I mean how heavily the culture of VTubing not just revolves
I
around
feel like
it, but also
I feel like VTubing's really bad as well. I've seen some shit, but the difference is the reach of K-pop and Minecraft kids is a lot bigger because VTubing is, I think, more niche as well as they are more vocal.
needs it, even more so than normal streaming communities. In fact, the industry banks on it, indirectly encourages it. However, this isn't exactly new. Tons of companies and industries like the K-pop industry, the American boy band culture, and the Japanese idol culture fosters and encourages parasocialism in all
Yep.
manners of depth,
You
because
see,
it's the thing
that's
that
what I
draws in
said.
the money. It also doesn't help that the VTuber boom started in 2020, literally the time where many people were isolated, lonely, and in a bad spot in their life due to pandemic lockdowns. While the healthy part of parasocialism got these people to forget about their loneliness momentarily and eventually get back to their feet, the dangerous part is that now some people vicariously live off of these anime girls.
Yeah,
But
they're
while
so dependent.
parasocialism exists everywhere in the media, streaming communities in general are more prone to developing it, since viewers and fans actually have a line of direct communication with
Yeah,
that
they
person.
interact
Viewers share
through
their
the chat.
vulnerabilities with the streamer. They banter, they have inside jokes, and it makes it so that the viewer feels like they know this streamer for real.
Yeah.
Like they're close friends with them, when in reality they aren't. And eventually, they go to their streams every time just so they can talk to them, to see what they're up to. Eventually, they develop a parasocial bond. Whether that's on the healthy side or on the deep end ultimately depends on the individual viewer.
True.
However, parasocialism can actually also go the other way around. In fact, I'd argue parasocialism first starts on the streamer or VTuber's end. Related
This is true in some cases. Some of the streamers are parasocial to their viewers. This I think I've seen this happen mostly to small streamers because small streamers they have some of them have that one or two viewers who always come back and they get attached to those people because they interact with them a lot. Hey, play.
Stability is a tricky thing to manage as a VTuber. In one hand, they absolutely need it so that people can connect with them and understand them better, which is part of a healthy parasocial relationship, of course,
Yeah.
but afterwards, it's their responsibility to put up proper boundaries. Still, no matter what you do, even if you put up that boundary, there will always be fans that will fall to the deep end of parasocialism.
Yep.
Gachis exist for everyone,
People
not
are
just
crazy.
for VTubers. Putting up
Stalkers.
boundaries serve to lessen the impact of those gachis. But I can't entirely blame the gachis though, because it's
What is a
actually the
gachi?
influencers that start seeing their chat as their friends first. Because the chat is always there, cheering
Yep.
for them and occasionally tossing them money. Who am I to deserve your time and money? I need to repay
Who came first, parasocial fans or the parasocial influencer? Though most of the time I think it's the influencers. It is probably the influencers. It depends on the influencer because some influencers treat their chat like they're their friends. So, and I think it's the only way to do it because how else would you have people come back to you unless you have that connection? I am not. Yeah, I think I'm right.
you would become their mentality. And this bond would deepen for better or worse, usually worse, when eventually the VTuber shares their vulnerabilities, past traumas, and too much of themselves to their audience. It's an indirect invite for other people to start pouring their hearts too, and thus starts a cycle where they essentially feed on each other. Some people trauma dumps during a random moment on a stream and sees their VTuber as a waifu therapist.
See? That's what I've been saying. It's not good.
And some people dedicate entire months of their lives making videos worshipping a single VTuber. Okay, maybe two. It's especially worse for VTubers who are troubled because the chat starts developing some kind of savior complex. That's the reason why a lot of VTuber fans love unstable girls and menheras, because they're just like me for real, and to them, they're way cuter than a normal
Because
professional
they're
VTuber. As
relatable.
such, this is a part of the job for most VTubers. Even if one is literally the funniest VTuber ever, they often need to skirt the edges of parasocialism, even more so than regular streamers, to find the middle between the shallow and the deep end. They
Yep.
can't stay complete.
It's a degree of parasocialism, I guess, is required in any entertainment sector. It's the same with YouTubers, it's the same with celebrities, actors. That's why TMZ is a thing. That's why the news reports on what celebrities do. It's for those parasocial viewers, fans. Because me, honestly, I couldn't care less. But since it's an industry thing, then I must be in the minority.
Unparasocial with their audience for long because parasocialism is the lifeblood of this industry. It's what fans expect and want from VTubers. Most VTubers fortunately manage to find these sweet spots, and those that go over the edge end up in unpredictable places. As
It's
examples,
scary.
Rusha got gutted and was humiliatingly exiled from Hololive, and Vox is seeking professional mental.
Appointment over, feeling fantastic, not officially diagnosed just yet, but looking likely that I've had two mental conditions for the past decade or more. You guys think you have something and need help? It's out there. If my stupid ass can get help, you sure as shit can. I don't know the context. Don't harass the guy. It's good he's doing this. I don't know what's happening here.
Help after the whole Reimu drama, and maybe developing into a Menhera himself. Yes, they're still active and popular,
I
but
don't know
they've
what a
earned
Menhera
themselves
is.
quite controversial reputations. Yes, they're still making bank, and they still want to pursue the GFE and BFE experience, but at what cost?
What's a GFE experience? What's a BFE? Girlfriend, boyfriend experience? Oh, it's those things where they like record voices that they're talking to you, pretending that you're their girlfriend and or boyfriend. It's very cringe in my opinion. I find it cringe, but there's an audience for it.
Of course, I'm not saying that Rusha or Vox deserve the mental damage that was inflicted upon them due to parasocial fans and criticism, but what I am saying is that it's par for the course. Things like these were naturally going to happen. There's even a chance that it'll continue to worsen as they keep descending into the abyss. And again, everything that I've said so far aren't
Stop the
exclusive
descent.
to VTubers. They happen to regular streamers too. However, the reason why I think it's a tad more problematic for VTubers is because VTubers are easier to objectify. VTubers
Yep.
appear as anime characters. They play into a
Yep.
kayfabe or character archetype. And due to this, it's really easy to forget that they're still human. That they're just
Yep.
entertainers, that they're just doing their job. There's already a growing global culture of men replacing real relationships with waifus. And pair this up with the idol culture, which I'll talk about later, and you get a special kind of problem. But things get even more
I somehow feel like I narrowed out his whole video when I was talking at the beginning of it. However, he did have a lot of he did have some good points along the way that I agree with.
complicated when you remember that it's part of the magic of VTubers. Them role-playing is part of the appeal of the gimmick of VTubing.
Yeah.
VTubers are basically interactive shows when you think about it. Them acting like caricatures, playing into tropes, being a neat because they're just like me for real, playing into the shipping culture, these are all parts of a VTuber's appeal, and the natures of these appeal makes parasocial relationships all the more easier to form. It's much harder for VTubers to manage their fans because they have to keep that magic alive while making sure most of their fan base doesn't fall too deep into parasocialism. And if
Yeah.
their fan base have already fallen into the deep end, whether intentionally or accidentally,
GG.
they start walking on eggshells. Most of the time, VTubers fail in managing that balance because parasocialism is already a key component of the VTuber culture,
Yep.
and sometimes it even
It's a need, I guess, in the streaming culture. Yep. And honestly, as a streamer who is not like a parasocial person, I think the fact that I'm not parasocial to my viewers is a major reason why I'm still a small streamer, a small content creator.
even dictates the success of a VTuber. Of course, while parasocialism is already a necessary component for a regular streamer or influencer, in the case of VTubers, parasocialism isn't just necessary, it's glorified. Enter the simping culture. Originally, the word simp was an insult to men who like female content creators a little too much, to a point where they'd spend a shit ton of money in hopes of getting some action in return. But during the VTuber boom, fans
True.
have not only adopted that word, they turned it into a badge of honor. The most loyal simps and the craziest, most active whales are respected and glorified. Someone who cashes out literally tens of thousands of dollars to super chat their Oshis in a single month are labeled as mad lads, a god amongst men. Half of the fanbase look at this ironically,
I
but
guess.
the other half do so unironically. Somehow, the simping culture has distorted our perception of such herb.
It's that part is something that cannot be controlled by the content creator, because sometimes if they tell their viewers to stop it, viewers would see that as a challenge instead and then do it more.
Before behavior. Somehow, the simping culture has made this the norm of the industry. And while I agree that this culture is part of what makes the VTuber community unique, it doesn't make it any less weird when you actually look at it from the outside and look at it without rose-tinted glasses. But again, this culture is what makes the industry special. For better or worse, it is also part of the magic of VTubing. In fact, this culture is why the VTuber boom happened in the first place, and why Hololive became the most popular global VTuber agency. Because the thing about industries is that the top dogs will always be the trendsetters. What they do is what most people follow in order to get a similar result.
Yeah, true.
Hololive's idol niche
That goes
became
with
the
anywhere.
meta for the industry when the VTuber boom happened, and as a result, idols and VTubers have become intertwined, permeating to every corner.
This is actually a double-edged sword for Hololive, because that means all their talent is treated as idols and therefore all the rules for idols apply to them, along with the fact that they can never show their face anywhere and they have to be extremely careful and very secretive. As well as they also have brands, like their own brands to uphold.
Of the VTuber industry. Idols have something of a problem with parasocialism already, so it's only natural that it was going to make it worse. The toxic side of the idol culture, which is the whole not talking to males thing among others, spread out across the VTuber industry. It's not that any agency, including Hololive, is forcing their VTubers to follow this toxic part of the culture and be parasocial, because it's mostly perpetuated both by the viewers and the individual VTuber. And while this industry has been doing well to shed off toxic parts of the idol culture, like the whole not allowed to talk to males thing, heavy parasocialism is still the lifeblood of the community, and it's where the VTuber industry is still going. One thing that I've observed
Because it
too
works.
is that the
Because it works. And viewers are dumb. As well as they see themselves, like they catch themselves like starting to be parasocial with the streamer, but they give into it. They get attached. Too attached. Like a little bit of like attachment because you enjoy their content. Sure. As an enjoyer, I'll call that the safe tier of parasocial, the enjoyer. If you just enjoy what they do, what they put out, you're good. And I feel like anything above that is too much. You're on your way to crazy.
social aspect of VTubing is worse for the eastern side of the industry than the western side. The Japanese, the Chinese, or really Asians in general are more prone to fall into the deep end of parasocial relationships.
Yep.
And as a result, they're the most loyal and profitable, but also the most volatile. There's a fine line between dangerous and
Is what
healthy
it is.
parasocialism. In fact, that's pretty much the point of this video. To find that line. To find that balance, both as a viewer or a streamer. Healthy parasocialism are healthy VTuber and fan relationships. When a VTuber knows that their chat are just their fans and not their friends.
There it is.
Appreciating them, but still keeping a distance. When viewers know that the VTubers are
Keep
just
boundaries.
doing their job. Still buying into their kayfabe and having fun but maintaining a healthy separation. But dangerous parasocialism is dependency or codependency between VTuber and fan. when the lines blur both for the chat and streamer, and they feel the need to see each other to complete their day.
Nope.
When the viewers start seeing the VTuber as their waifu therapist, a romantic, or their friend. Healthy parasocialism
do
is the
that.
reason that the magic of VTubers exists, and it's one of the elements that make VTubing unique. Enjoying your Oshis as cute anime girls doing cute anime things is one of the most unique experiences of
Again, just be an enjoyer.
online entertainment. But dangerous parasocialism is the horror of the VTuber community, as it can ruin entire fan bases, VTubers, and further damages the reputation of the industry. The moment you buy into the
Not
illusion
even,
too
like,
much
mentally
and forget that these
and
VTubers are
emotionally,
just normal human beings
they
doing their
break.
job as entertainers, is the moment you start to slip on the edge. The moment you stop being a fan and start seeing yourself as their friend or lover, is the moment you need to take a step back. All of us are parasocial towards
You gotta
someone
chill.
or something in various degrees. But when you start substituting parasocial relationships for actual real relationships, realize that you're falling on the deep end. The parasocial problem only becomes a problem when you let it become a problem. Hey everyone, thanks for watching
That goes for viewers actually. Viewers need to learn to catch themselves.
this video. Leave a like and comment down below if I've missed something or if you have something to add. And if you'd like to engage in a parasocial relationship with me, joining my membership
No.
or Patreon will be the best way to do so. Anyway, that's it. See.
Right. That was Depressed Nusagi. Gonna sub. You're gonna like. It did have some good points there. I feel like we agreed on most things. However, I'm just more jaded maybe or out of it because my barrier for parasocialism is just only as I am an entertainer, you are a viewer, or I am a viewer and you are an entertainer, and that's it. I am just an enjoyer, or I am a provider. Because this shit gets dangerous. People have been stalked and canceled, and their lives just get destroyed. Both the viewers and the content creators. It's not a healthy thing. So if you ever catch yourself thinking about giving $1,000 to a streamer, not because you want to support them, but because you want to be their friend, take a breather, drink some water, go outside, take a walk.